Matthew chapter 6. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it's in heaven. So what it means is that God's mind over the earth from the beginning was to replicate heaven on earth. So when Jesus was trying to teach you how to pray, he was trying to teach you to be kingdom minded. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy will be done on earth as in heaven. Before you start asking, give us this day our daily bread. You are still asking for your pocket. You have not asked for his kingdom. If his kingdom comes, don't worry about your pocket. It will follow. So it shows you that your needs are not his priorities. His kingdom is your priority. So how does God achieve this? He wants, when he looks on earth, the way there is order in heaven, the way there is justice, there is purity. He wants, when he looks on earth, he sees the same thing. So we don't judge kingdom expansion by the number of churches opened. We judge kingdom expansion by the way the earth begins to resemble heaven. You're not following me here. So when we look on earth, and we are not seeing the order of heaven on earth, the kingdom is not yet fully established. Oh. Are you following me? And in a the kingdom of God is the real of rulership. His intention has always been to extend his rule from the invisible heaven to the visible earth through man. When God says, let them have dominion, Genesis chapter 1, verse 26, he wasn't giving man control. He was giving man kingdom assignment. When God was saying, let them have dominion, he was not giving man control. What he was giving them was kingdom what? Assignment. So it means, look at what happened. God created the earth. He says, me, physically I cannot live on earth. So, but for me to make this earth look like it, I have to create someone who looks like me and will walk like me. So the essence of putting man on earth was for man to replicate what he's doing in heaven. That has always been the purpose. Nothing else. This is why you are alive. To carry the divine image of God and execute his divine government. This is why you are alive. You are not alive because you need to build a house. Some of the things you celebrate as testimonies mean nothing to God. God is moved to the extent you go to establish his kingdom. Some of these prayers you are praying, God, give me, are simple things that will come to you when his kingdom is your priority. There are some prayers by the grace of God I will never make. I will never make. One day we were talking about, people say, sometimes people say pastors have private jet. They don't have private jet. I said, the day this kingdom work will require that we'll be in 3 nations in 2 days, God on his own will provide the means of transportation. I cannot be missing up and down. That level of assignment has not come yet. If I go looking for it, it's greed. But when it becomes a necessity, I will not pray for it. God will find a way. You see, the problem we don't understand is that we are kingdom diplomats. God releases mission budgets to us as we carry out the kingdom purpose. Every nation is responsible for her embassy. Every nation is responsible for her foreign mission. Man on earth is God's foreign mission on earth. God is the one who is responsible for you. But you must be responsible in the assignment they sent you. Now listen. When man fell in Genesis, man did not just lose innocence. He lost kingdom access and function. The moment sin came and man fell, let me tell you what man lost. You know, we thought that what man lost was just Eden. No. What actually man lost was the ability to carry out God's order. Because you cannot carry out an eternal assignment in a fallen state. Oh. So he lost access from the kingdom. The day you shall eat of this fruit, you shall die. Not physical death, but spiritual death. You lose access. You know, when we talk about life, it's God's life that man shares from. So when sin came, he got locked out from that life. And until he's alive, he cannot carry out the eternal assignment. But he lived for so many other years. But he could no longer carry out that assignment. So when you look from Genesis down to the last part of the Old Testament, nobody there was able to carry out. You're not following what I'm saying here. So now we have talked about purpose, right? Let's now talk about plan. I've introduced plan now. Man fell. Sin came. It means that man had lost the inability to carry out and function in this kingdom. So, how can there be a restoration? God now devised a plan. That plan is Jesus Christ. But Jesus was not the strategy. Jesus is just the plan. God on his own cannot have a physical dominion on earth. So will Jesus not. Because Jesus and God are in the God class. So Jesus cannot be the strategy. Because God cannot be the strategy. So it has to be the plan. And what is it? You must see salvation from a different point now. Salvation is redemption into purpose and not redemption into heaven. When man fell, he forfeited access to the kingdom. He could no longer carry out God's rule because sin corrupted the vessel. God in his wisdom sent Jesus, not just to rescue man from sin, but to requalify him to carry out the kingdom assignment. So when we receive salvation, now what now happens is that we are now requalified to carry out the first assignment God gave to Adam. So you were not actually saved just to get to heaven. Heaven is the goal, not lie. If heaven was just the goal, the moment you gave your life to Christ, he will take you. So leaving you here on earth means that there is something important. Let me tell you, when fellowship was restored, now some of you will not understand this because you don't have fellowship. But when fellowship was restored, a miniature of heaven was restored to you. Somebody's not following me here. So heaven is not actually the only goal. Because the way you are now in restored fellowship with God, if you have a fellowship, when you get to heaven, you will not be truly very surprised. Are you following what I'm saying here? If you know, because a lot of times we